let me tell you a little story about, where we really messed up in the past, and curious to see how you calculate this. There, we used to have all these 3-yard wheel loaders, and we started trying to use them, right? Like they were for snow removal. We didn't need them in the summertime. Then we were trying to shift our business to find jobs that needed them. But, even more so, they became these massive wheelbarrows, right? Like our summer crews wanted to use this rather than, using a wheelbarrow on a job site. So all of a sudden we're driving these 3-yard wheel loaders 15 kilometers across the city so that we could avoid having to lift a plate tamper into the back of the truck. I mean, that's kind of extreme, but like just trying to, share that, we have messed up here. Do you have like any kind of metric to say like the quality hours that contribute towards the utilization rate or the intended utilized hours? How do you think about that?
Yeah, it's a good question. So there's a few thoughts, and I'm not sure I have them organized. So you're just going to get them how they come. One is, good. I think, one of the things that we really luck out on is there's a lot more transparency into equipment use because of so many of the manufacturers on late model equipment now just have built in GPS with metrics where you can see what are my use hours versus my idle hours,
Yep.
So if you see a loader being used for a lot of wheelbarrow work, it's going to show in those data. There's going to be lots of idle time on that machine. So I think looking at the metric of how much time is it idling versus working, and then how many hours total really starts to tell that picture. And so like when I talk about 70% utilization, that's in my mind, probably not idling, probably much more than like 15 to 18% of that time. So I think that's one thing that you could look at. I think the other thing is like, once again, just recognizing we have a bias, like we generally have a pretty good gut check. And that you mentioned this and I've been there. So, like you're cutting a channel and you're cutting the channel with the excavator and like you're trying to fine grade this channel with the excavator to the level that you really should be using a rake. And at some point you see you have two laborers there who have rakes and you're like I should just move on, but I like equipment. And I just want to see how good I can get it. Right.
Right.
Like that's a bit of an art because there's not a metric there, but I think anybody who's been in the business a fair amount, they start to see it like, man, we're really pushing to use equipment when a good old fashioned shovel or rake, or in this case, a wheelbarrow probably helps. Right. Or probably does it better even. So I'm a huge fan of equipment. I'm a huge fan of where that goes. There will be some level of autonomy in the future, but I also believe there's times where good old fashioned manual labor is still the best option, and don't be scared to do that.
What you're suggesting, and I completely agree with it, takes a ton of discipline, right? So to really effectively use that machine, I just thinking through the day, you're on that channel, it's 2 p.m, right? And I feel like this is where sort of the breakdown comes, is it's 2 p.m. I've hit a point where I can keep using this machine for the rest of the day and save, some of the back-breaking labor, maybe not do the job, as well as the guys on the ground. But I can kind of save them a little bit of work. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And do I have a truck available? Is the next project, set up, ready to float this truck for me to, start the next project? There's some logistical problems that sort of present themselves, and that discipline to be able to set yourself up so that you can handle those logistic sort of nightmares, complicates this utilization factor.
Yeah, I guess first off, I would just say this is not easy.
Yeah.
If it was the construction industry would be a much higher margin industry, right? Managing people spread out all over a region that have a lot of autonomy, aren't always empowered to know everything that they need to do or where they're going. It makes it difficult.